Hi, I'm Sophia Ahmad, Director of Marketing and Public Relations at the Des Moines Symphony, and I'm happy to be here with Joseph Giunta, our music director and conductor. Hey Joe, how are you?
I'm terrific, thank you very much.
Great. We're exploring Beethoven's Fifth Symphony in a Beyond the Score presentation and production on November 15th and 16th at the Civic Center. And Joe, can you take us back to the first time this piece was performed?
Well, I could try. It's a long time ago, but from what I've read, it's really a wonderful evening that happened. You know, if you can imagine, the concert took over 4 hours, and
Wow.
pieces on the program included both the Fifth and Sixth Symphony. Beethoven performed the Fourth Piano Concerto that he had written earlier. There were excerpts from the C Major Mass. There was the premiere of the Choral Fantasy. And he also improvised between all these pieces. So you imagine sitting in this theater, I know, and it was really a world-changing event, which we found out later.
So Joe, what was Beethoven like as an artist, as a composer?
Yeah, well, by the time Beethoven was 33 years old, the year was 1804, he was already a very, very confident artist. He was new and sort of this unrivaled master of instrumental composition. And center stage in Vienna and the European markets, I mean, he was a real rock star, comparable to what Liszt or Chopin might have been many years later, you know. But he was self-assured, he was arrogant, and even in those days, as a young man, he was certain, he dreamed about collected editions of all his works. So that was just goes to show you how self-confident he was. But he was really the first performer and composer that referred to himself as an artist. He wanted to be treated as an equal. And although he understood that the aristocrats, he needed their money, the landowners' money, in order to continue to compose, he was also very stern about the fact that he was an equal, which was a far different cry than what Haydn and Mozart had done. And in his own words, from a conversation he had with a very wealthy patron, Beethoven said that there will be many who will follow you with your last name, but there will only be one Beethoven.
So it's been said that Beethoven's Fifth Symphony is a sort of shorthand for all of classical music. How is that so?
Well, this symphony is absolutely superb, as we all know, Sophia. And if we just take the apprehension and the restlessness and the element of surprise, the rhythmic complexity, the silences, all this was achieved through a series of very short motives for the greater good, for the whole. And nothing like this had ever happened before Beethoven. And indeed, when Brahms and Schumann and Mahler and many of the composers that followed him, indeed, they heard Beethoven's footsteps everywhere.
It's amazing how he could take such few pieces and spin them out to create such an incredible piece.
Yeah, it's a remarkable talent.
So in this Beyond the Score presentation, it draws attention to music critic and author E.T.A. Hoffmann and his now famous review of Beethoven's Fifth Symphony, which really made the piece popular. And in it, he, in essence, ascribes extra musical powers to music, that it takes the listener beyond the score, so to speak, and into a transcendent realm. Do you believe that music has those powers?
I believe that all music has those powers. However, I believe that Beethoven's music has a super amount of power. How many composers can we say that can portray fear and awe and horror and pain and human suffering and human emotion that every human suffers, and he does it, of course, without words. That's the true genius of Beethoven.